Welcome to the City of San Antonio Department of Arts and Culture's grant application tutorial for the individual artist grants. Our goal is to provide you with all the information you need to successfully complete your application for funding. In this tutorial, you'll be provided with information about this grant, eligibility, funding and restrictions, the categories you may apply in, scoring, how to apply, the timeline, and where you can find answers should you have any questions. Additional information can be found at SanAntonio.gov/artgrants. This is the page on our website which gives you information on the project grants for individual artists. The grants are aimed to support a diverse portfolio of artists working across the city of San Antonio in the production of new, original, high-quality art. These grants have the specific intent of expanding the artist's professional development through their creation of new works, which must be publicly displayed or performed in San Antonio during the contract period. All funding is predicated upon meeting eligibility requirements and the availability of funds. On the individual artist grants, you'll find the Request for Applications link, where you will find more details on this grant and a link to the GoSmart.org where you can apply. Eligibility. Applicants must be residents of the city of San Antonio or operate the artistic business or studio within the city limits. They will be required to show proof of address. They must be 18 years of age and be professional artists. That is defined as having at least 3 years of relevant work experience or have received specialized training, such as a degree or certification. Derive a portion of individual earned income from the artistic practice or areas related to the field, or demonstrate a clear investment of time and resources into the creation of new works, and have a professional portfolio that includes published or publicly displayed works and be registered in the online San Antonio Artist Registry. You can find a separate tutorial on completing your artist profile for the Artist Registry at SanAntonio.gov/artgrants. Funding under this program will be $5,000 per awarded artist during the 18-month grant period. The pay schedule is $4,000 at contract execution and the final $1,000 upon project completion. Any funds needed above the $5,000 is the responsibility of the artist. Artists may not solicit additional funding from the City of San Antonio for their project. The number of grants to be awarded will depend on amount of funding available. Funding is contingent upon hotel-motel tax revenues and appropriation of funding by City Council. Project grants for individual artists will be administered on an annual basis. There'll be an open call every spring. Contracts are for 18 months from October 1st through March 31st. Only one contract is allowed per the contract period. A new contract will not be awarded while an artist is still working to complete their project from a previous grant cycle. The department will not consider multiple requests from the same artist within the same contract application period, even if the projects or categories are different, or requests to fund the same project by different artists who are collaborating on the project. Artists may apply annually, however, for a new project so long as the previous project has been completed. These are some of the restrictions on use of funds for this grant. For a complete list, please refer to the Request for Applications at SanAntonio.gov/artgrants. Grants will be awarded in the following categories. Applicants will be required to select the category that best describes their project. Applications will be competitively scored by the panel following the established review process. Scores will be based upon the following criteria: experience up to 35 points, merit of the proposed project up to 45 points, and capability up to 20 points. There are up to 30 additional bonus preference points for artists who fall within certain categories seen here. For more details regarding evaluation criteria, scoring, and review, please refer to the request for applications at SanAntonio.gov/artgrants. We suggest that you create your artist profile before beginning your application in SanAntonio.govsmart.org. Please note this step requires a system approval, which can take up to 3 business days to complete before you receive your artist profile link. So please be sure to give yourself enough time before the intent to apply deadline. The profile will include the following information: name, contact information including website and social media, image of artist performing or of artwork, category, bio, portfolio, sample of work. The tutorial and the link to create your artist profile can be found under the Artist Grants tab at SanAntonio.gov/artgrants. This is what the first page of your artist profile registration looks like. All applicants are required to register and create an account profile in SanAntonio.govsmart.org prior to accessing the grant application. If you've received funding through the department and have a profile in GoSmart, we recommend you review and update it as needed prior to beginning your application. The application is a two-step process. The first is to complete and submit the intent to apply by the deadline. This includes creating your profile in the Artist Registry. Upon review of the completed intent to apply, staff will release the application, which is step 2. You'll need to complete it and submit your grant application by the deadline. The application involves providing information about your project. This is the online application system, SanAntonio.govsmart.org. Near the top right, you'll see Tech Tips. If you have issues with the system after hours, you may click the link to find additional information or solutions. If you've never applied for funding through the system, you'll need to create a profile. So click on the blue link at the bottom that reads, "Click here to create a new profile," and it will walk you through creation of the profile. Note that this is an individual grant, and your profile needs to be for an individual. When you click on Tech Tips, it will take you here to Tech Tips and Help Center. Here you'll find step-by-step and video tutorials, as well as a wealth of information on navigating the GoSmart system. Once you've established your individual profile, you'll be able to log in. Click at the top where you see Current Programs and Applications, which will show you the grants that are currently open. Click on the individual artist grants. You may now begin the intent to apply by clicking on the blue link, Start Intent to Apply. This will take you to the Intent to Apply page. If you have not created your artist profile in the San Antonio Artist Registry, please do so now. There are multiple ways to respond to questions. For example, the address question is the text box. Most text boxes will show the number of characters allowed for each text box. The question on age has 2 checkboxes for you to choose from. Proof of residence is a file upload. You will be required to upload your ID, a copy of your lease, or a utility bill, which has your name and shows your address. The blue question marks under some of the questions provide more information to assist you in answering the question. When you click on them, an information box will appear with more information to clarify the question or to give you examples of how to answer the question. You'll be asked to choose the category of the type of project you are planning. We've included save buttons in order that you may save the information you entered as you go along. You may use them to take a break, log off, and then go back in where you left off. At the end of each page, please click on the blue link, Did I complete this page? You'll receive a message letting you know if you inadvertently missed answering any required questions. Once you click Submit, you'll receive a confirmation that you've completed your intent to apply. You'll receive a follow-up email informing you whether you may continue to Step 2, the application, wherein you'll be required to give information on your project. Your intent to apply will show as submitted. Once it's been approved, you'll also see that it's been approved. You may click on the Start button to begin your application. This is the first page of the application. As you can see at the top left, you'll be asked to provide detailed information on your proposed project, beginning with describing your project. You'll be asked to provide information on any collaborators and where you plan to display or perform the project. You'll also be asked to provide the timeline and your plans for marketing and promoting. If you plan to display or perform the project in a city-owned venue or facility, you will need insurance. This insurance can be purchased for the dates of the exhibit performance only through various event insurance providers listed here. You'll be required to submit proposed expenses for your project, such as artist fees, production expenses, venue rental, marketing, and insurance. We've provided some extra lines for other expenses you may have. You'll be asked to provide information on any proposed income, such as fundraisers, sale of merchandise, admission fees, sponsorships, etc. We want to know if you've secured any other sources to ensure your project can be completed within the grant timeline. Please provide any in-kind support. In-kind is any non-cash donation, such as goods, services, time, and expertise. For example, if the venue you're exhibiting performing at donates the space or gives you a discount on the space rental, you may show that here. You will be required to complete and upload a conflict of interest questionnaire and addendum to declare any conflicts of interest you may have. This is the conflict of interest questionnaire. You will need to print the form in order to complete it, then scan and save to your computer. You'll see that the second page provides descriptions to better assist you in completing the form. This is the conflict of interest addendum. Again, please be sure to complete both and save to your computer. Once you are ready to submit the forms, click the Upload File button and choose the files to be uploaded. The last section is the Assurances page. You must certify that you are authorized to submit an application, agree to adhere to the city's non-discrimination policy, refer from discussing your application with any member of the evaluation panel or any member of the San Antonio Arts Commission or the Arts Funding Committee until the item is taken to the San Antonio Arts Commission. Additionally, you may not contact any city official or their staff until the item is posted for City Council review. You must also certify that you are the creator and owner of the artwork and no other individual may claim copyright to the artwork, or that you have obtained rights to a component of the work that contains material copyrighted by someone else, and that all information submitted in the application is true and correct. If you happen to miss answering any questions, you'll receive a message letting you know which questions you need to go back to. You will not be able to proceed until you answer all required questions. Click on the Final Submission button. A message will show up asking if you're sure you're ready to submit. When you are sure, click on OK. Once you click Submit, you'll receive a notice that your application was received. You will also get a system-generated email from noreply@gosmart.org that confirms your submission. If you do not get an email confirmation, please go back into the system and ensure that you clicked on the Submit button. The timeline for this grant is noted here. The intent to apply deadline is April 5th at 5 p.m. Application deadline is June 8th at 5 p.m. Please review this timeline for other important dates, such as the date to submit appeals and Arts Funding Committee reviews. If you have any questions regarding this grant, please contact Victoria Garcia, Contract Officer, at artsfunding@SanAntonio.gov. Again, you may view requests for applications at SanAntonio.gov/artgrants. And to apply, you'll go to SanAntonio.gosmart.org. Thank you, and we look forward to receiving and reviewing your application.